about your film Ruthless?
Right, right.
Definitely Ruthless, trying to take over with a character, a high school coach played by Dermot, as just taking over and just handling business on his own.
You know, it came to me, Ruthless, because I wrote the original script, and and when I write, I don't just sit down and write. I'm not a trained writer, but I get ideas. I watch something, I see something on the news, or I experience something, and then all of a sudden it comes together. And and Ruthless is based on a lot of true instances that are happening. And I had taken it to Premiere Entertainment with Elias, and he wanted to do it. And so we had some rewrites, polishes, and stuff like that. And then when the script was ready, it was like, who's going to play the role? Who's going to play the role? And we considered several actors, really, really all good actors, but it just wasn't the right fit. It wasn't the right fit. And when I met Dermot, it's like, wow, that is Harry. It was one of those things where it's like, I was blown away. I was just blown away because it was like, that's the character that I had in mind when I was putting it to paper. I've rarely had that happen to me in all the years I've been doing this. And so this film in particular is very personal, and I just enjoyed the whole process of bringing that to life. And again, I'm getting ahead of myself, but in terms of, like, let's say, even the action, the action, I didn't want, and I love all these big films, John Wick and Marvel and all that stuff. But I said that in this film, we need something more grounded, more real. And what's his background? He's wrestling, so he'll do some arm breaks and he'll do that kind of fighting, and that's more real to what people would do, as opposed to throwing kicks or flying or flipping and shooting and stuff like that. And so that was my approach to it. And Dermot did all his own fighting. He was amazing, amazing. Everything you see there. The only time he wanted to, but I stopped him, is like when we're doing a sequence where they're continually flipping. I'm doing so many takes, so I used a stunt double. But 99% of everything you see is Dermot. I mean, I was blown away.
That's impressive. I was going to ask you about the wrestling. What was his reaction when he found out that it involved wrestling?
Oh, he was excited. He was excited. There's a wrestling sequence in there where, well, basically at a school, we actually hired a school, the students, the coach. So in terms of some of the teachings, he was coaching us on how they teach wrestling. But Dermot took to it like in Family Man, just like fish in water. He was just there, doing it, and it's rare, rare, because I've had actors come to the set and the first question they ask is, "Great, who's my stunt double?" You know, where Dermot was just, I mean, we showed him Krav Maga and some jujitsu, and he already had a little bit of boxing, so his hands were good. So I said, you know what, Dermot, you're gonna do it, brother. And he was like game. He was amazing, not only as an actor, but just the action. I mean, I was blown away.
Yeah, he's definitely become a favorite when it comes to action films. I mean, us women, fell in love with him with the rom-coms.
Yes. Yes, yes, that's funny. Every time, and I saw that film, and I obviously I think Dermot's great, but yeah, that's the film everybody brings up. Oh, you mean my best friend's wedding? I go, yeah, yeah. He's fighting. He's kicking butt. Absolutely.
Exactly. I just spoke to him just a little while, like a couple hours ago for Breakwater.
Oh, nice,
Yeah,
nice.
so today's all about him.
Yes, it's all about Dermot, and I really, and I'm going on a limb when I tell you, without Dermot there is no Ruthless, because he brought the right amount of everything. It's almost like when you make again, my Spanish roots are coming out. When you make pozole or menudo, you have to get the right ingredients, the right mixture, the right everything, and a lot of it, my mother and my grandparents, they don't use measurement. They just know, they just know what to put in there, and it's always delicious. And that's what I'm saying. As an actor and what he brought to the role, I couldn't tell an actor, do it this way, do this and this and this. He had to do it, and that's what Dermot did. There was the nuances, the right amount of irony, the right amount of humor, and obviously seriousness to the role, which was amazing.
This film does cover several topics. Tell me about how you integrated these sensitive topics: domestic violence and
Mhm.
trafficking.
It was a you never know whether you get the right balance or not. But it wasn't like that one film that came out about trafficking, which was a pretty heavy film. I forgot the name of it, Sound of Freedom or something like that. but I wasn't going to make that. I wanted to do that as backdrop to draw attention to it, but don't dwell on it. I wanted to make people aware, and even the parts of Vegas we shot in Vegas, but I wanted to show the real Vegas. I mean, literally, we showed some of the highlights. You see the nice casinos and some of the shots, but most of it was done in the homes. The people lived there. That we didn't have. No, I can't. No, we didn't build sets. We just literally shot in people's homes. We shot at police stations, and we shot some real gritty areas that were really. I wanted to feel real. I didn't want it to feel like you're on a set, you're on a Hollywood set, because we're not doing a Hollywood movie. And and I did broach those things because I too had came from broken parents and alcoholism, stuff like that. And but I didn't want to dwell on it. I just wanted to touch it to say, guys, this is real. This is reality. And even still, the fact that Melissa's character overcomes it and still thrives in spite of all that she's gone through and her mother's gone through, she still thrives. And that's what I wanted to do at the end of the movie, just inspire hope that if one does the right thing, that it can pay it forward to others.
Speaking of Melissa's character, how did you find Melissa, and how did you know she was perfect for this role? Because I love how she was. It was never about feeling bad for her. She was strong. Like
Yes,
you feel
very.
bad, but she's always strong and will.
Yeah, yeah, she was tough. Well, you know what? Actually, she was brought to me by Elias, the producer, the main producer. He says, "Art, this is her." And when I met her, it's like, "You're right. I mean, I don't need to see anybody else." I mean, because she brought that right elements of softness, but she wasn't a victim. She wasn't a victim. She was a survivor and a strong character. And she brought that. It wasn't like me prompting her. She understood it, which was amazing. And she stood up to her stepfather and her circumstances, and she was tough. And I really and I was just talking about the wrestling is that I also I've been doing martial arts all my life, and I've taught it, and I'm like your worst boot camp drill sergeant when it comes to the action. I am just, and with her, it's like I wasn't going to baby her. She's a young girl. She looks petite and all stuff, but I'm not going to baby anybody. So she was going 10, 12 hours a day in the wrestling sequences. Nope, do it again. And the ADs were hard, she's been doing this for 10 hours. I don't care. This is life. This is life, you know? And she was just such a trooper. She did amazing. Again, she did. I uh I remember I pulled a couple of the rest of the side. I said, hey, teach her some stuff because I'm not going to double anybody in the film. I'm not going to double these people. And and so they worked with her. They said, hey, we got some moves for her. I said, okay. In my mind, to be honest with you, I was thinking, okay, I'll cut around it. I'll see how I can cheat it, cutaways. And when she came onto the set, she's flipping guys left and right, moving and rapping. It's like, dang, dang. She did it all. She did it all. She blew me away.
Yeah, the whole time, like, wow, she has her ovaries in place, and maybe her mother should learn from her.
That's it. That's it. That's exactly it. I'm telling you, man. And yeah, she brought the right amount of toughness. And again, in those situations, because I grew up in those kind of homes, my environment was very bad in that way. You got a choice. You can be a victim all your life, or you can be a survivor and strong and thrive. Not survivor, forget survivor, thriver, thriver. And that's what she was, the character. She's a thriver. She's gonna, stand up to no matter what the circumstances.
Yeah, the character that her mother, I was just kind of like, I was so upset. I was like, what kind of mother? Get caught up in the middle of like being trying to survive, but it's like, no, you got to learn from your daughter. She's like a fighter. You can do it alone. Don't need anybody.
Yes, that's it. And so it worked because again, and I tell you, a lot of stuff that when I write these scripts, a lot of stuff I take from real life. And there are the dynamics of that. Sometimes it's the parents, sometimes it's the kids, but there are those dynamics that you just mentioned that it's like, dang it, wake up, despierta. It's like you don't need that guy.
You can do it alone. You can do it
Yeah.
alone.
And Melissa showed her. And
Yeah.
Melissa showed her. And then Dermot is the guy again. He's the guy that just like all of us, we see the things in life and regardless of what your beliefs are, we see things in life And most of us just sit back and we complain. And he didn't. His character said, you know what? He goes to the right channels. We got to do it. We got to help. We got to help her. But then when it keeps happening, it's like he's got to take it into his own hands.
Mm-hmm.
Got to take it into his own and do the right thing, regardless of the circumstances.
Yeah. Let's talk about another actor you also had. How did you get Jeff?
Jeff, again, Elias had worked with him. Elias assumed from Premiere, and I was a huge fan of Jeff's. I mean, gosh, I mean, we came close to working back in the mid '90s when I started directing, and but we never connected. And when they told me, said, Art, would you like to have, Jeff? I go, my God, that would be phenomenal, phenomenal. He is just such an amazing, an actor's actor. I mean, you could be having just this casual conversation, and then action, and all of a sudden, I was like, what? He's the character. I swear to God, for his first time, I'm talking to him, the lighting's being set up, the ADs are working everything else. They go, "All right, we gotta go, okay, go roll camera." And I'm talking to him, and then literally within less than a second, we were talking, and then suddenly he just transforms into this character. And he's so precise, so picture perfect, and doesn't like to waste time. And he's really, really professional and great to work with.
Lovely. Well, I really enjoyed the film. I was
Thank
I was just like, wow, I was just fascinated by the character by Carla.
you.
And maybe a lot of girls will learn and take note.
Yes, yes, and that was my hope, is that when you see her, that we can do it. It doesn't matter where you come from. It matters where you're going and where you end up. I grew up in the barrio. I came from a broken family, drug, blah 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 blah. But here I am, directing films, producing, and living the dream. And and
Living the
uh,
dream.
and that's what it is, and that's my motto in life. Live the dream. You're living the dream, Nancy. You really are. I'm very very proud of you and excited for you. Seriously. Thank you.
Thank you so much. I mean, yes, I am living the dream, covering entertainment, one of my passions.
How cool is that? How cool is that? That
Yeah.
is so cool. You get to talk to so many people, experience, and just like a sponge, you're absorbing so much. And again, maybe who knows? You're gonna be directing, producing soon. I'm serious. I'm serious. You never know. I'm telling you. I'm, I'm a high school dropout. I dropped out of 16. I had no idea 34 years later I'd be being interviewed by you and directing films. How?
You're a Carla. You got a little life.
No, thank you.
Is there something you can talk about that you have coming up for 2024?
Yeah, you know what? We're finishing up the film called The Record with Tyrese, Harvey Keitel, Amina Sawari. It's a wonderful film. It's more like I mean, you're very young, but there was a series called Knight Rider. I don't know if you remember that, with Kit the Car.
Watched it. I'm an 81 kid, so I
Okay,
am
all
a
right.
little up there.
But imagine that, but now we turned a tow truck into kind of a Knight Rider kind of thing. It's so fun. I mean, but Knight Rider on steroids. Let me put it that way. It's a fun film. It's an action film, complete opposite of Ruthless, but it's a fun film on great actors. Again, these were wonderful actors to work with. Harvey and Mina, just amazing, and Danny Trejo. I mean, my God, I don't know. You've interviewed him, haven't you?
I have not.
I tell you, just a quick story with Danny is the most wonderful guy that you can meet. He's so genuine in his humility. We're doing a scene, and the vans were taking people to the trader to go eat, whatever. And I said, Harvey, just come in my car. So he jumped in my car. I was driving to the set, and there were people on the streets. They were taking pictures of us. And he says, Art, stop the car. I go, okay, cool. I stopped the car. He gets out and he goes to take selfies with everyone. He literally wanted to make sure that everybody got their pictures instead of just from the car, that kind of stuff. He wanted so signing and everything, and he was late for his lunch, but he didn't care. You know, that's the kind of person that he is. He just loves people, and he's so grateful for. And he told me, so grateful for the opportunities he's got, and every day be long hours, hard hours, but you always that big smile on his face.
It's that
And
acknowledgement. That's something to admire.
yeah, yeah. And and I gotta tell you, Nancy, I just been in general, just been blessed. I can't, obviously, like all of us, we have our ups and downs, but I can't tell you how blessed I've been. God has been so wonderful to me to bring me here. I mean, again, here you're interviewing me. How cool is that? I'm serious. Seriously, just doing the stuff I'm doing, and I'm proud of you and excited. And I think Ruthless, God, again, I'm not trying to get preachy, but Dermot came to the pro. Without Dermot, there is no Ruthless. I'll tell you that right now, because he brought the right elements to the role. I can't even describe what he did, but he's just phenomenal, phenomenal.
I
So
love it. I love it. Well, thank you so much for your time and talking about your film and then your future project. Deseo feliz Navidad, feliz año
Igualmente,
nuevo y
i-
mucho éxito para el año entrante.
igualmente para ti, Nancy. Cualquier cosa que necesites, ya tienes aquí.
Muchas
Tienes fa-
gracias. Pues platicamos para el proyecto que viene.
Perfecto.
Okay,
Ya.
take care. Thank you.